Hey, welcome back to DIY RV and Home. If you didn't get a chance to see the opening for this Maxxair fan, jump back and take a look at it. Or actually, it's just kind of a fun. Here's the meat and bones of the install. So, first thing we got to do is get in here. We're going to be taking the trim off from the interior, prepping it before we get up on the roof. So, swing it around, get this trim off, and we've got some wires to disconnect. Then we can get up top, get that done. All right, here we go. And for me, simple, 4 screws. So, we're going to go ahead and pull this, just get this out of the way. Alright, if you want to screen in here, today behind the video cam is my son. So we got 2 cables, 2 wires connecting up to the fan. So we're going to have a negative, or excuse me, a positive and a negative. In RV lifestyle, everything's backwards to 12 volt, which is what I've done all my life. But hey, off that rant. So, we're going to be snipping these 2 wires right here, and then we'll go back up top. We'll get this unscrewed, and then we'll go ahead and take her out. Alright. What the hell did I cut with that? I can just B-roll this shit. Alright, next thing you see, we're outside! Alright, so first thing we got to do is expose all the screws that hold us down. Get those, and then we're also going to try to get this die core separated so we can pull this off. It'll take a bit, do a little time lapse, and also do a magical sweep right into getting it done. But again, be extremely careful of your rubber roof if you're working with one. You don't want to have to do any repairs to that because of a slip, so take your time. Alright, guess what? Fan! Done! Now it's the cleanup. What we're going to try to do is get as much of this off. We'll clean it, prep it. We'll put the new fan on and get it secured. Get the die core in place. Go down. We'll use that old trim to make a template for the new one. Get the wire spliced. Get this thing together. Get this project done. as you can see, we're halfway, well, maybe halfway through filling this off. Now, whether it be from us or from manufacturer, whatever, there was a couple little spots where there's a couple little holes that are going to be areas that are going to be concerned. One of them was right here. So when we do get ready, we're going to make sure that those are properly fixed, and die cord, make sure that it's be covered so there's no leak there. So we're going to keep going, and we'll bring you back when it's done. We've got her scraped off. Still a little bit left, but I know that we'll be able to make a good seal with the new mastic and die core. So we're going to get the fan up here, get it set in place. There was a couple little spots where we had some issues with a nick in the membrane. We're going to get those corrected before we actually secure everything. Whether it need to be some extra die core on it or something like that, or if we need to put a piece of turn-on tape, we'll determine that when we get the fan up here and address that. So we're going to flip around, come back at you when we're installing the fan. Alright, so we've got her laid in to the hole on top. It looks like it's going to do good for covering up the old stuff, the old caulking and everything like that. We've got a little bit of area, which is fine, because the new die core will go right over the top of it. Looks like any of the little blemishes that we had, little tiny nicks in the membrane, are going to be covered. So we're good. We'll get that done, get some extra die core put down. But first thing we got to do is go inside, take that piece of trim, and make sure that everything is centered up, that it's going to look proper in the hole from below before we actually put some screws in this thing. So let's jump down, let's check a look at that real quick. So before we can put this trim piece up, we got to cut it to size and trim it out so it'll fit properly. This is what they did at the factory. So it's kind of a template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and just use a Sharpie and just follow their awesomeness. Come back in a little bit and make it a little bit cleaner than what they had. Now to cut it, since that's on the inside, I'm going to set up a little rotor cutter and cut it out real quick. So I've got my cutting tool here, my zip-off wheel. You know, I've got an air compressor here. If you don't have that, you can use yourself a little hacksaw. These are those cheaper ones with a little hand on it. Just slowly work it in until you get a hole through, and then you can cut it. If you have the line on the outside, you can start on that. Any way you can to get it cut. Trim to size. So here, I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Okay, I like it just like that. So everything looks good. We'll go ahead and get the wires pulled down, get it wired up, set back into place, put the trim back up there, make sure that everything looks good, centered in the hole, centered here on the ceiling. Once we like it, then we'll go ahead and screw everything back down tight and then put the die core over the top. So. Once you crimp, make sure you give it a tug, make sure that it's not gonna pull apart on you. That all looks good. Good. So now, before we button it up, let's try it out. Look, it comes with batteries.
Batteries included?
Oh. All right, well, it works. Now it's time to go up top and get that button down, come down, get the trim on, call it good. Project done. All right, let's get up on the roof. I had one of those brain things, you know, the name disappeared. But as I was holding it, I happened to see, it says butyl on it. It's butyl tape is what it is. Butyl tape is what's gonna go underneath where the screws are. This is actually the main sealant for the joint between the fan vent and the actual membrane in the roof. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I put a couple little lines here just so I know where this is, as referenced down below when I put that trim on. So now I can pick it up and I can actually add the caulk to it. So, or excuse me, the butyl tape. So it looks like we got 2 sets of holes. So we can go inner or outer. We're going to do the inner ones because that'll be closer to where the backer is for it. And if you use this, all you got to do is just go down, find my knife. So we're just going to come down, cut it. Just press it down real lightly so it'll stick. Got her screwed down. I actually ran out of battery, so we had to go charge up a battery real quick. So I do got the back caulk with die core. I'm going to go ahead and get this new tube opened up, finish it off, and we'll call this project, once we get that trim in place, done. Go ahead and we're going to cover every single screw. Just give it a dab. This is self-leveling, so it's going to level itself. Don't be stingy.
Get that one again.
Hold on a second. Okay, then we're going to come back around, and you really want to also get that edge. Which one?
That one.
There we go. Alright, so the butyl tape is your first line of sealing. Your second line is the caulking. So we've caulked all the screw holes and we've caulked around the seam. And just let it go. It self-levels. Recommend that you come up at least twice a year minimum and check your roof. Make sure that everything looks good. I'm going to spin you around real quick. Go look at the ladder. Right next to the ladder. As you can see, the die core right here is tearing and it is moving. I've actually already cleaned this, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and fill right over the top of that to protect that, and I'll address this later. But right now, we're trying to get ready to go camping and everything like that, and it's later in the getting into the afternoon. I don't want to start another project, but I know what's going on. The trim, the corner trim, the rubber is actually moving a little bit, and it's actually pulling that die core. So it's something I got to look at, figure out how to get it to stop doing that, because over on the other side, it's also going to do that on my cap too. I'm going to spray some down. We're going to go finish the trim inside. Project done today. Final step, put the trim in, throw a couple screws into it, call project done. I've actually already taken, and we'll swing you around and show you, I've already mounted the remote inside the bathroom on the wall. Now, something I didn't realize, this is an infrared remote, so it has to be line of sight. Since our fan is in the bathroom, remote's going to be in the bathroom, but that's all right, because we do have an auto setting on this where we can control the temperature automatically through that. If we have to, we can get off our lazy butt, walk 8 feet, and press the button. So let's get this screwed in. We'll call it project done. I'll give you a quick run through of what we do. Or not what we do, but how it works. And one final screw. All right, let me see that. So there is the remote for the fan. There's our fan. Wanted, we can just hit on. Things are gonna come on, open up for us. We can adjust the speed. So we got 10 settings there. We can actually set the temperature to auto so that, like it says right now, the room's 78 and we got it to 71, so it's gonna be on. Once it gets to 71 in here, it'll actually shut off. We can shut the lid while it's still on. Excuse me, let's get off auto. Now, got it open. While it's on, we can hit the lid shut. It'll still shut while the fan is going. So you can do that if you want. I don't know the purpose of that, but got that. Right now it says that the air is being drew out. We can hit the button. It'll actually shut the fan off for a couple seconds, let it spin down, and then it'll reverse it. And so now it's pulling the air in, and we're running 80%. Hey, this project came out awesome. If you guys want to try it, it's just a couple little tips. Be careful when you're working up on rubber roofs. Take your time. Make sure you get the right products for it. The butyl tape, the die-core. Replace your screws. This come with the extra screws. And also remember that it is on infrared, so you're not going to be able to remotely put it on the other side of the trailer and operate it. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you on the next video.